nigga get along with everybody. But some of you niggas just different.
I want to add, can y'all hear me? My grandfather managed the Young Senators. That was like the first go-go band. And they came up with the Jungle and 7th and T record back in the day. You know what I'm saying? That was like the first go-go band. And Chuck was opening up for them. And then Chuck invented that pocket. You know what I'm saying? And that's our signature sound. You know what I'm saying? In that pocket, in that lane. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. That's like a niche market. But when you were saying that hip hop is cousins with go-go, and it's like that's what my brand is, culture over corporate, because it's like the corporations, they ain't got their hand in go-go. You know what I'm saying? Like the artistic equity that save lives, that combat poverty for real. Like that's what it's for. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's sacred here. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like almost divine how that contrast is left like that. Like there's nothing that they can't infiltrate go-go and even sell it to the masses because it's maintained by a certain purity of pure Washingtonians. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like that's what it is.
It's more like a sacred. It's like sacred. You got legends that's not here. That may have not been mentioned here, like Rio Edwards, Liaison Records, guys who in the beginning tried to form an ecosystem, a business ecosystem around go-go. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure these legends can elaborate.
Max Kid.
Yeah.
Okay, hi. My name is Amy Kicks 1978, and to piggyback off of this gentleman in front of me, first of all, has anyone ever heard of the name Kenny Barnes Sr.? So I'm his PR, and basically he was one of the forefront of go-go, where he didn't create the music, of course, that was Chuck Brown, but he is one of the main promoters that used to throw the shows. And he hired the Young Senators, he hired Trouble, not Trouble Funk, but it was Trouble, and then Trouble Funk. So I was just piggybacking off of what you were saying. So we're actually developing, or we're in the I can't speak too much on it, but we're actually talking about what you just mentioned as far as the ecosystem surrounding go-go and the evolution of go-go, how it got started. A lot of people don't even know Mr. Barnes Sr.'s story on his, how it all developed. People think go-go just reappeared. Just in thin air.
It was layers.
Yeah. It's layers to it.
DC, the music culture here, a lot of the original go-go bands evolved from funk bands. DC had classic funk bands all the way before, dating back to the 50s. With doo-wop groups singing on the corners. Some of our own uncles and grandfathers were in singing groups.
Yep.
Like we're singing with Marvin Gaye, guys like that. These guys paved the way for funk bands transition into go-go bands.
And you know what? And it's in the
rock band.
Yes. And the name Soul Searchers, that's the hello. They were a soul band. It wasn't go-go. It morphed into that.
Let's go. So coming from another country to the U.S. and listen to go-go and trying to figure out, okay, what is this sound? Because I was so intrigued with it. I was just like, wow, what is this? I gotta make this. I gotta figure out what instruments go together. And then, of course, I found out about all the bands and stuff like that. So I joined the bands. But yeah, it's just an interesting experience. DC's just different, period.
That question.
So my question is, with the go-go sound being so big in the area, coming up under people like Rich Harrison and Chucky, why wasn't the sound more duplicated by the masses? And we know it was so successful, whereas, of course, a question I have is so deep for me because DJ Khaled stole from DJ Kool, and he didn't even do half of what DJ Kool did on the record.
I can answer that from a younger generation, and it's not a divisive thing, but I can say that it's because you're not from this soil. If you're not from this soil, it's gonna be hard for you to feel that heart.
You gotta be
go
country.
Yep.
You gotta be from this soil. You can come from anywhere in the world and get a taste of it and go take it back across the world. But you gotta be on this soil to get the authentic thing.
Yeah.
You can't duplicate it nowhere.
What a fact is.
Philly got its own go-go sound. It's not the same groove as DC.
Right.
You understand? Atlanta too.
So
But I'm gonna tell you why. Go ahead. I'm
So I
sorry.
say now that we on this topic, it kind of piggybacks on it. My question is, since go-go is the sound and Baltimore is the sound, why the youngers ain't picking up on it? It's clearly not our sound.
You know
Well,
what?
I believe that.
Well, I guess it's the definition of what is sound. I don't know.
I think the youngins picked up on the Baltimore stuff because, you know, young people have a lot of energy. You know, even my kids, they jump around a lot. They always, can't do this shit. But yeah, you know, like, so I think it's a choice. You know, I think go-go is more like grooving, you know, like, you're
What you think, Mark? Y'all ain't doing too much. Not too many Baltimore. I mean, there are a few Baltimore artists that will jump on club right
Yeah, I think they starting to jump on it. Like, I think Baltimore, like after K-Swift passed, became a little bit a follower city, and we had to find our way as well. We had old constitutions like you had to get your record to this person, then the person played the record on the radio, and then the other DJs played it based off of this person playing on the radio. But we got a young group. Like I just did a club track with the with Detronada that's dropping in that's dropping in the April as well. We got a new crew that's ready to hop on it, especially with Jersey jumping on TikTok and then Philly and Uzi. So I think the young people in the industry, I've been having meetings with publishers and they loving the club sound. I'm sending out I'm sending out club beats to like pop artists and stuff like that. So people was on it, but sometimes locally, sometimes people don't know what they got until somebody else hop on it. So like when Sierra did Level Up, oh, it's a Baltimore club track. Or when Kanye West, every couple of years club music, and I'll jump and I'll lump Jersey and Philly in there too. Like probably like 10 years ago, Kanye West hopped on DJ Class. I'm the shit. You don't get no bigger than DJ Class hopping on I'm the shit. Swiss Beats did some actually club records. Estelle hopped on a version of I'm the shit, and Jermaine Dupri as well. So and then we had a time where EDM, like Diplo and all the people from France was making clubs. So every once in a while it bubble up. I think here, at least in Baltimore, the youth are do want to hop to it, but the producers it's not as many club producers. Like everybody hitting me up, like I ain't got enough beats. So
first of all, shout out to DJ Techniques.
Yes.
Shout out to Rob Lee.
Yes.
Shout out to Miss Tony. Rest in peace. They are the pioneers of the club sound.
Yes.
But I think somewhere, and it's kind of crazy, even with this go-go thing. Now the young's got the bounce beat and whatnot, and that's a derivative of the crank sound. Somewhere between, I guess, the younger generation and the older generation, we get some kind of disconnect, and that's where we get screwed up at. You know what I'm saying? So we need to embrace these young ones. These young ones need to stop calling us old, which is bullshit, because I look better than your father. You know what I mean? And I'm 65. How about that? So stop all that. The old stuff. You need to come to us, humble yourself, and learn. We'll teach you. That's what we're here for. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, I'm here to be a source of inspiration and education for the next ones coming up. Period. So anytime somebody want to holler at DJ Kool, you can holler at me.
Absolutely.
All right, period. So we need to get back together.
I think the disconnect is exactly what Kool just stated. Not enough of us are reaching back for that information, right? So you don't know where you're going if you don't really know where you came from. It's hard to know where you're going if you have no direction, no foundation. and they don't care. A lot of youngsters don't care about what was already done. All right, I ain't trying to hit about no old stories. Okay, but these old stories got jewels. That's the key to your future. You know what I'm saying? So this on that alone, they're saying we're gonna do our own thing. We don't need to know what's already been done. You know, that's kind of the mentality.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But still, you're gonna have to come down that road that we paved at some point. You know what I mean? This brother right here wants.
Because you're still here.
Exactly.
Still here.
You know what I mean? This brother wants to say something.
I have a quick question as far as the sound of DC and the younger crowd. Do you think because that DC didn't go mainstream and the money that's involved with being mainstream is why the younger generation doesn't want to deal with go-go like sample go-go music or anything like that?
I'm sorry, I said, say that again, I'm sorry.
I said because of go-go not going mainstream as far as nationwide and the money
They did go mainstream. They went mainstream.
On a global surface. Is that the reason why we think the younger crowd that's in DC doesn't want to deal with sampling go-go or music?
Could be.
I'm sorry. I think it's possible, but go-go has gone mainstream numerous amounts of times.
Yes.
We can take it back to Bustin' Loose. I'm gonna try and tie this together with what you're talking about. So we can take it back to Bustin' Loose. We can take it to
the Bud.
Junkyard Bands. We can take it during the Bud. We can take it to DJ Kool records.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But the business
Gotta be
of
right.
go-go has always been holding us back.
Yes.
Let me say this real quick.
Yes.
Doing the Bud, probably one of the biggest records to come out here, go-go wise. Great record, was not produced by any DC artists.
Right.
No, that was produced by Marcus Miller. And because of the fact that that song was in a big movie with a big machine behind it, that's how it took off. Had it not been for that, dope record, but
I need, hold on.
No, let
Kool elaborate on that. You said Marcus Miller produced Doing the Bud.
Yes.
So those of us that know go-go know that the band played the music.
Yes.
Did Marcus compose? Like, he's not from DC. How did he, I'm trying to understand how he got involved with
I think somehow or another he heard, or Spike Lee heard. I wasn't there, but this is the stories I'm hearing.
He's credited as the producer.
Yes, he did produce the record.
He didn't play any instruments.
No, that was EU.
Okay.
But right. But
There we go.
That's to the point of what you said.
yes, the business of it.
Can you qualify the sound of the butt like a soccer beat?
Yes, you played that.
I understand they played it, but when you think about a real soccer pocket doing the butt, but he didn't have that.
Nope.
Yes, it was. It was played by DC musicians, and I'm not trying to argue with you, brother. We're talking, but it was played by EU. You know what I mean? The only thing that Marcus Miller done was arrange the song to make it more palatable to radio and all that other kind of stuff. Just like a lot of Trouble Funk records and Chuck Brown records and stuff
Just
like
hit on a
that.
very good point about
Definitely
arranging
that.
the song. Because here we go, we're in this room. I'm gonna throw something out there, just let it light up the room. Dare I say, It's Love by Jill Scott is one of the best produced go-go records.
Yeah.
Wow. And they're not from here.
No, let me say this because I say this to everybody. If Miss Kim made that same song, it would go national. Same exact song.
If it was in the right machine.
Yeah, it depends. It depends.
The business matters.
The business.
The business.
The ecosystem around these
That was the
records
point.
is what make these records what it is. The people matter, all right? But that's at the end of the reception. The people, the machine has to generate this record, okay? Promote this record and break this record so that it can make it on the ear.
So as a go-go fan, I'm a die-hard go-go fan. I love go-go music, been in go-go bands, singing with go-go bands, worked with Rich Harrison, Easy Thomas, all of them.
I'm sorry, what is your name?
Meko. I'm Meko.
Meko The Boss.
Meko The Boss. I'm Meko The Boss. But my question is, why wasn't there like a go-go coalition, like something? So because I feel like there's a lot of go-go bands now that I would say quote unquote because they're not really playing go-go music, they're fake. But anyway, I don't understand why it's not like a coalition, like people, like what she was saying, like somebody who would actually tell where go-go came from and to hold these bands accountable, because a lot of these bands, I'm sorry, need to break up.
Can I
Because I feel like it's just not real authentic, and it just makes me sad because I'm a diehard fan, and when I go to the show, I want to hear some go-go music. I don't want to see somebody doing something crazy on the stage. It looks sick.
I can answer that, and I got somewhat of a double answer because it pertains not only to the state of go-go right now, but the state of our music as well. If you notice, not a lot of R&B is even embraced or promoted. Has anybody noticed that we don't hear love music?
Definitely.
Okay, and that's because, to me, I'm big on energy. So that's because we're in a different frequency. The frequency that we are in is in a disturbed frequency. This is why beats are 808 driven.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to hear a good bassline groove over 808 that's pounding through the bottom of the beat. Okay, so that's the transition from the original go-go groove to the bounce beat. Okay, it's driving. The bass line on the bounce beat is the slide. Woom, 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 woom. No, listen. The picture that I'm painting to you is the frequency. A lot of bands are appealing to their crowd. So if this crowd likes high, low frequencies, distorted frequencies, that's what they gotta play. And they gotta play that.
But the young
it's
ones,
disturbing you though.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? This is why it's distasteful for you.
Well, and me too. But anyway, that's another story itself. Getting back to the business of go-go and the reason why it hasn't gone as far as, let's say, hip-hop has gone. It's too much. I don't fuck with that nigga. I don't fuck with that nigga shit going on.
It's the same, right?
And it's been going on for a very, very long time. If we could ever get past that part, then maybe we can get some business going on. Okay? And we also got to be able to trust somebody. Because evidently we can't do it. We've been trying to do it since the 70s. And it's, I don't trust your ass, I don't trust your ass. And I get it because there's been a whole lot of fuck shit. Y'all excuse my language, if it's the Christians in here. I know it's Easter Sunday tomorrow and all that, but there's been a whole lot of fuck nigga shit going on in go-go for a long time. And a lot of the pioneers, these people that started this stuff when they was teenagers, and now they like my age and they still beefing, which is crazy. So we gotta cut that out. Here's one of the pioneers' sons right here. This is Go-Go Mickey's son right here, yes. Please let him speak.
Alright, so like I said, what you saying, why don't the youngest get it? So look, me coming up and go, I've been in the club since shit, I came out the womb. So me growing up, we had go-go's like during the day at our school. Bands came to high school. We had spots that's never open or kids will never see. And so it made us want to go. Like, alright, shit, lunchtime we got a band playing. Excuse my language, but fuck recess, we going ahead. We could be outside playing, we could do whatever we want. Now, it's none of that. They done took everything away from the kids. So you can't expect them to really gravitate to anything they ain't got to gravitate to but the goddamn radio. Shit, street music, that's it. And two, sound-wise, we actually have a sound right now. I mean, I'm a little bit old and new, that's how I'm gonna put it. When I make beats, I actually put pocket beats in my stuff and bounce beats. It's all about how you quantize it and how you place it in the range. Right. We have the sound. Even with the bounce beat, right? You can have a crazy ass slap with a mean ass. It's all about how you make it.
But and I think it's the lack of creativity.
Of course, yeah.
It's the lack of creativity. Like a hit record appeals to you because it was creatively delivered. It appeals to you because it was just creatively put together. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, that's what it
So it appeals to you because it sounds good to you. Period.
So let me piggyback off what he just said and give y'all a backstory on a quote unquote go-go record. We did Crazy Love for Beyonce.
Right.
Gave that same beat before it was written for Beyonce. It was given, we played it, I sent it to Shaka Zulu for Luda. And Shaka to this day will deny it. I tease him about it all the time. And then we went to Baseline one time when Dame and Jay-Z was still a crew, and we played the beat for Jay-Z. Get with Beyonce, we get the phone call because we had A. Marie's on the same label with Destiny's Child. We did Kelly Rowland, Can't Nobody, which was a go-go beat, which was, I gave Rich the beat for Let's Get Small Trouble Funk. We did that for Kelly Rowland before Beyonce. Yep. We get with Beyonce and play the beat. There's no lyrics, there's no nothing. It's just the beat. Dun, 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 dun. Drops into a little beat and everything, and then she's like, okay, Rich, I'm gonna go shopping and cut the record when we come back. Anybody knows Rich Harrison knows he's a functioning alcoholic. And we were hungover in the studio the next day, and he had to write Crazy Love in 2 hours, and she came back and got the song. We had the song, I would play you his reference of the record. Rich sings everything. Rich used to play in the go-go band. He used to play in Northeast Progression. So he plays everything. He writes and sings everything. That fast forward that story, they get to the super A&R meeting of Columbia Records. Don Imus, the CEO of Sony. Matthew Knowles is there. Beyonce's A&R is there. All the heads of all the different labels are there. And they didn't even bring Crazy Love into the meeting. And they had Jay-Z on the record. They're playing Baby Boy, Naughty Girl. And then somebody said, KP, who you guys might know, used to be at Look Face, works with Pharrell and worked with Usher. KP, I forgot KP's last name. That's my man. He stood up and said, yo, thank you. He said, I thought y'all went in with Rich Harrison. Where's that record at? They went in and got the record, played it, and he looked at everybody and said, y'all crazy, y'all don't think it's the first single. Somebody from Epic, I'm not gonna say his name, said, oh, that's just some DC go-go joint. That's not gonna make it past the Beltway. And that's what he said about Crazy Love. And the rest is history.
Can I say something real fast about Crazy in Love too? So a lot of people think that beat from Crazy in Love was go-go. It was not. It was a sample from a song called We Got to Give More Power to the People by the Shy-Lights. Okay? Which is from the 70s. But that was more so based off of Latin percussion, what that was, which is what the go-go beat is based off of Latin percussion because Chuck Brown at one time played in a Latin band. And that's where he got the use of using congas. Yes. There you go. Los Latinos, for all of y'all that don't know that. So Chuck's roots are blues and jazz, but the Los Latinos band, what he mentioned, that's where Chuck got the use of using congas, high congas, low congas, timbales, playing bongos with sticks like Trouble Funk used to do and all that other kind of stuff.
Like Kool just said, all those bands in that era in the 70s, they all gave different different musicians solos. So they'll have a little congo or bass or whatever. So a lot of those funk 70 bands had those breaks that had the congos featured. The secret with Crazy in Love is that Rich played in the go-go band. So Rich would get on the MPC and play the drums and sample the drums like a go-go drummer. So it still felt like go-go, even though we would have to get into a conversation about what we're defining as go-go. Because if you sit back, for those of us that know Teddy's Jam was go-go. But it wasn't done by a go-go band. Right. But those of us that know music composition said, that's a go-go record. New Jack Swing go-go record. So that's what Rich did. He just took the sample and played it like a go-go drummer, and it feels like go-go.
All right, so my name is Chuck the Arsonist, just in case none of y'all know. But one thing that I can say is that I remember EU after the Butt, they got a record deal. And the record deal didn't go the
the way that they wanted it to.
Sound
Virgin Records, exactly. And I think they had some balance on it. And a lot of times I think that the record labels don't get us in the city, and they try to conform us.
It's business,
right? And they
know
try
how to sell a product.
Exactly, but
They don't know how to produce.
They don't know how to sell go-go. You see what I'm saying? And it didn't go the way they wanted it to go because they don't know us, you know. And sometimes I guess like a corporation, because it's a business, you know what I'm saying? And when it's not authentic, like you said, it's just not going to work.
It's hard to it's hard for them to translate.
Right.
They were supposed to go with a song called Buck Wild,
right,
which should have been the single. Instead, they went with the ballad that you mentioned, Taste of Your Love, which was a great record, but it's just like you said, these label heads, they don't know what the hell they listening to. What is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? The Negro music or whatever. They don't know what the jungle music or whatever, which is crazy, so they don't know what to listen to. So that's why that happened. And then
Introduce our sister over here, Nonchalant. We were talking about the sound earlier. Get it out.
Bang! Yes.
Y'all not gonna like me when I say this.
Well, come on.
Bird told me to wrap this up in like 2 minutes.
Uh-oh. It's okay. Uh-oh.
Wrap it up. Look, I don't know. Oh, check. I don't know.
Come up here.
They need to see you. I mentioned you. They need to see you. This is Nonchalant, the legendary icon.
5 o'clock in the morning, where you gonna be? Sound on the corner, yes.
Go ahead, big brother. Before we wrap up.
Quick question, y'all. My name is Tito Starr. I moved to the area probably in 2000 from Miami, Florida, so I got a chance to kind of see it from a distance. You know what I'm saying? I know for me, when I did move here, I realized how much vocal bands play an intricate part in rappers doing their thing, right? So why is it like when you like shows that are going on right now, you have a lot of up and coming artists like a light show or a Nucci, One Way Nucci and so forth like that. Why don't the go-go bands incorporate these up and coming artists to kind of help one hand wash the other?
They did that. Come here, Dick. Here's your proof right there.
Back in the day, this man right here.
No disrespect, definitely no. I'm talking about like in this current time now, as far as you know, after it seemed like after Scarface's era and time, you know what I mean, it kind of slowed down a little bit. Where any rapper that comes into town, they definitely get a go-go band to perform with them because you're not gonna sell out tickets if you don't, right? So for the young and up and coming people that's coming up, like you know, you definitely gotta. And I'm not trying to call out no band that doesn't call out and up and coming artists.
We understand.
But that's all I'm pretty much trying to say. Why doesn't one hand wash the other and right now?
That's right.
I'm gonna tell you, it's like this, bro. Back when I started rapping, the only reason why me and people like Fat Rodney rapped at the go-go, they call us go-go rappers. But basically, Red Essence was the bad boy or Death Row if you wanted to be heard outside an open mic or a cypher. Everything riding around the city was a Red Essence tape with the windows down. So basically, when you rap with Red Essence, say when I was rapping with Red Essence in '89, it wasn't industry, but I was putting out 16 recordings a month.
That's like DJ Kool.
You know what I'm saying? 16 recordings a month, just constantly going out to the city. Well, and I just happen to be a lyrical dude that know how to rap on go-go, but I respect rap. Because here's the part you probably not getting. A lot of lyricists, I got brothers that's lyricists, that come to the go-go. I ain't playing with that go-go. You got to know how to drop them lyrics on that go-go. It's breathing spots. Dudes be messing up in the studio. This is live. Man, double my voice, turn me up. Ain't none of that with the go-go band. Once you start,
I got
that's
you,
it.
Homer. I got you.
And that's how we was trained.
That's right. And then and that's the foundation, right? And you ask for the right now. And the right now is a lot of these artists don't create with their culture in mind. They don't. When most artists, and from what I know, artist development meant can your record translate to the stage and then across the world?
Yeah.
Right? That's not the mentality that most of our artists here create with. They create with jumping past the culture and just reaching the masses. So they don't utilize what they have right here at home. They can make records that could potentially translate to a go-go groove and then build a relationship with different bands and do it that way.
It's
But
still
they
part
don't
of
see the value in performing a record at halftime at go-go, at a go-go.
It's still part of the disconnect that I was talking about earlier as well. You know
We're
what I mean?
gonna take 2 more questions, George, and just 1 more question, and after that, then you got one.
You got something to say,
2 more
Carl?
questions.
Thanks, bro. What's going on, y'all? Thank y'all so much for all of the wisdom that y'all have been putting out so articulately. My name is Nick Steve, aka DJ Electric. Graduated from Howard University. Grew up in Landover, Maryland, Southeast DC. I also was a music director for my church for 10 years. So I was also in go-go bands, right? But now, as a coalition DJ, a QC DJ. What I'm also seeing, like when I'm playing in the clubs, the hot clubs in the DMV, a lot of the club owners and a lot of the promoters want us to kind of stay away from go-go, right? So when you think about what really is driving the culture and driving the sound of what becomes popular, oftentimes it is the DJs that have the room to really kind of influence what picks up, and you know, you really are in a position to distribute right to an audience of people that's in these hot clubs, right? So, you know, my brother Flex Cartel, we recently did something at Union Stage, you know what I'm saying? And my brother Haru, he's a violinist, he plays with New Impressions, right? So they are bringing out the go-go bands, to your point that you made a few moments ago. They are bringing out the go-go bands at times, but when you talk about what makes things popular, you know, it's not always okay at Barcode to drop that go-go song because of the energy that oftentimes comes with go-go. Because we shouting out the hoods, we shouting out, you know, all of the different hoods, and they might be in the same place at the same time, and it causes friction. But you know, I do hope that when you was talking about Jill Scott, I also think about Sunshine Anderson. Heard it all before, right? Like to me, that joint got a real strong. But the topics that she's talking about, it is related to love. It is related to topics that are more palpable to an audience of women and you know, people that want to have fun, right? So I just think we do got to consider all of that when we're trying to think about how we integrate the two going forward.
I'm sure. Go ahead, Connor. I think as a producer who stopped, my foundation is in as a musician. I'm a drummer, I started in churches. Okay, so the foundation of musicianship is and the appreciation for music. I think that's where it starts as well. So when you appreciate music, you can create the music that you appreciate. You will have a bar that you will have to reach, and it's not there anymore. You don't have a bar that you can reach. The competitive is who's the most dangerous, and not who's the most artistic, who's the most creative. Which is why our music is more dangerous than it's ever been. Hip hop. This is why hip hop is more dangerous than it's ever been. Because it's not about the music. It's about lifestyle. When the music perpetuated the lifestyle, not backwards.
He brings
you
up,
understand what I'm saying?
Can I say something real quick? I wanna elaborate on what you were saying about the club owners not allowing the DJs to play go-go in the clubs. That bullshit started probably around, let me see, I stopped playing in the clubs around here in '96. And that was perpetuated by a lot of these club owners that used to promote go-go. And I'm like, what the hell is that all about? How you gonna say don't play go-go when your ass used to be let me stop cursing, there's children in here. When you used to, right, when you used to promote go-go, what are you talking about? I mean, oh man, don't play that music. They should tell me don't play Rough It Off. I'm like, what? Well, but see, telling DJ Kool not to play go-go, right, is like telling Michael Jordan don't shoot the ball. I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? So, I'm sorry. Oh, so that's where that started at, and that's once again part of the division and and all F stuff that's been going on that's been still holding go-go back. That started back in the day. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So she said she got to wrap this up. I'm a sound man, right? I do sound for all the bands, just about everybody, right? And a lot of the stuff y'all saying is cool, but for example, I do sound for No Impressions every Wednesday and every Thursday. And although they a bounce beat band, they got go-go in a headlock right now. I'm talking about they make money hand over fist when they show up. And they are musicians, they are musically inclined. These dudes playing note for note, they singing in the same key, all the musicians playing in the same key. And this is something that should be applauded. Just because it's bounce beat don't mean that these dudes ain't doing nothing, because they real live doing numbers in this area. So what it is although it might not look like a socket or a pocket, just because it's not what you're used to, don't mean that it ain't being effective. It don't mean that it's not doing anything, because they got a real live crowd that come out. Women, more than anybody, No Impressions has a following of ladies that come out and buy tables and buy bottles. And it ain't no fighting in the club and all that no more, because people are spending too much money. They come have a good time. If I spend $1,000 on an outfit, $500 on the table, I'm not about to come in there and fight nobody, because I done just spent $1,500 to have a good time.
I agree with you. No Impressions, you got Serious Company, Backyard Band, TCB. They are only 5 to maybe 2% of the whole pool of bands. You understand what I'm saying? So we all know majority rules, and if the majority is distasteful, then the genre is distasteful.
Plus, we
right?
didn't even talk about the fact that they took music out of the DC public school system.
The musicians
talk about that part.
That's a panel in itself. That's a whole other panel. So anyway,
you know what I'm saying?
Because it started in music class.
That's what I was trying to say.
During lunch, go to the music class, beating on the beats. Beating on the tables, or going, making the beats on the court with the floppy disk, saving it on the floppy disk. So we needed that. Yeah.
Any other questions?